Well, it's a privilege to operate a motor vehicle on the highways, but the courts have ruled, and it's in my brief, it's a right to travel.
And Mr. Black, good morning.
Good morning.
And your criminal charge is dismissed on Friday, is that right? Thursday.
I don't know. Okay, well, thank you. How come I wasn't notified?
Well, that's not what you're here for today. You're here for the traffic infraction. That's what it's for. I don't know.
I thought this was a motion hearing.
It was going to be, but the state made a motion to dismiss your charge.
Okay. So now it's going to be contested?
Yeah, I'm waiting for your file to open up here. Sometimes our technology lags, so I'm waiting for it to give me access to your file.
I didn't come prepared to contest the infractions.
Well, that'll be easy because you can tell me whether you have insurance or not. But hold on a second.
Sure.
Let me just explain. Failure to transfer title, the trip permit, and the driving suspended charges, which are all criminal charges. And those are the ones that you'd filed all the pleadings on, which I've read all your pleadings.
Okay. You have any comments on it? Just curious.
I'll give you my comments here in a moment.
All right, folks, buckle up, because what you're about to hear will shake the way you think about the open road. They say it's a privilege to drive, a license granted by the state. But behind the curtain, the fight rages on. Is it really just a privilege, or a fundamental right to travel? This clash between citizens and the system is more than legal talk. It's a battlefield of freedom versus control. And the courtroom becomes the arena where every word hits like a gavel.
And I believe the police report states that I did produce my insurance, but it took me a while to find it.
Do you happen to have a copy of it with you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Should I approach?
yeah, please.
To the middle of the big paragraph. Oh, it's on the last paragraph.
Right. And do you have a copy of whatever you showed the officer by way of the insurance proof?
Yes. Oh, it's on my phone.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah, but I let somebody, one of my employees, take care of that, and he, whenever I need my insurance, I ask him where it is. But it'll take me a while to find it if you need me to.
Well, see if you can find it while I'm reading this.
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is showing insurance for somebody, not you, for a car. I don't think it's the car it's identified here. Okay, could be the vehicle. Who's Thomas Harris?
He's the employee that takes care of that stuff. He registers the vehicles, gets insurance for them.
And employee of yours?
Yeah.
And what type of business?
Biodiesel. I go to a gas station and Grand Mountain.
All right, and then the other thing to note here is that the insurance is purchased the day after the stop.
No.
Yeah, look at 411.
The judge steps in, cool and measured, but the tension cuts sharp. Charges dismissed, motions filed, rules bent and broken. Yet the storm isn't over. The defendant, blindsided, argues for his ground. He didn't come prepared for battle today, but in this arena, you don't always get to choose your war. The state makes its move, and now the man is cornered. But he's not backing down. He's fighting tooth and nail to keep his right to stand on four wheels.
Stop was on 410.
Well, I can call. I'm sure it wasn't because when I called him, he produced this instantly. So I can call him and.
And you saw that, right? You saw that it said effective 411.
Let me take another look.
Yeah.
Thomas, you're on speakerphone. I'm in court right now. The criminal charges were dismissed, but the no insurance charge. Remember when I called you when the police stopped me and you sent me a copy of the insurance card? Well, the insurance card looks like it was purchased the day after the stop.
Oh, it maybe it's just been the wrong one. Tell them that tell them we have a different insurance card. We got somebody vehicles here is crazy. There's no way to get an insurance card that quickly when I'm working like that. The only thing I could do was send you some proof of insurance that I had in my phone.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So what did they say?
Well, you're on speakerphone now, I'm in court, and
I mean, you got to realize we're working around.
how could this possibly be purchased the next day? You didn't purchase insurance the next day, did you?
No. What they may have done is what they do is they renew the insurance.
Insurance. Paperwork. The system's favorite weapons. Proof demanded, proof delayed, phones pulled out, and evidence flashing on glowing screens. The judge eyes the documents, skeptical, sharp, and unforgiving. What's real? What's fabricated? The courtroom tension mounts as technicalities are dragged into the light. And here's the twist. The insurance was filed a day after the stop. Coincidence, or a trap laid by the machine? The gavel hangs heavy, waiting to strike.
Every 6 months or so. And
Okay.
what happens is it automatically prints out ahead of time. And so what may have happened is they give us the card in advance, and then I get it online, and then I just put them in my phone. But I got so many cards in there that it's hard to find them.
Okay, I think that explains it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well-
If you need me, I can look up and see where.
Well, let me ask the judge. Your Honor. Okay, that's all, Thomas. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'll find that the card you displayed is just the automatic renewal card that comes in. Coincidentally, it renewed the day after you got stopped, so I'll go ahead and buy that. Dismiss the ticket. I'll turn that to you. And then you asked me about your criminal charges. They were dismissed without prejudice. Now, without prejudice means they can be refiled. So it's up to the prosecutor to decide whether they're going to refile them.
I prepared something for the court.
Yeah, without the prosecutor here, I can't make any decisions. I'll just share some general thoughts with you.
A phone call crackles to life, echoing through the courtroom like a lifeline from the outside. An employee, rushed and chaotic, blurts out the truth, or what sounds like it. Too many cars, too many cards, too much confusion. Insurance renewed, cards predated, systems automated. But the courtroom isn't a place for confusion. It's a place for judgment. And here, every stutter, every slip of the tongue, becomes evidence. The fight over one piece of paper turns into a war over credibility.
Because I see you got a subsequent driving suspended ticket. Out of, looks like Tumwater. So, you have a court date, I believe in August on that. Let me check. So my guess is, since you have a new charge right away, that they may not be willing to dismiss the new charge, and they may resurface the old charge because, as I said, it was dismissed without prejudice, which means it can't be refiled. So right now you're scheduled for court on the Tumwater driving suspended charge on the 5th of August at 1:30 in the afternoon. So that's a Tuesday at 1:30. We're doing court. So, without ruling on anything that might be filed on the new case, I'll just share some thoughts with you, which are that the view that you set forth in your pleadings is, we see that occasionally, very similar language. I don't know.
Then comes the verdict, dismissed. The ticket crumbles, tossed aside. But victory here is fleeting, fragile, dangerous. Because the shadow of dismissed charges lingers, without prejudice. That phrase cuts like a blade. It means the system isn't done. It means the state can come back swinging, reopening the wounds, filing again, dragging the man back into the fight. Freedom? Not yet. This is just a pause in the war. The real battle is still ahead.
You know, sometimes the briefs we get in this line are all read the exact same. Yours is not the exact same, but a lot of exact same. There is no case in the country that says a state cannot regulate the driving, both commercial and private, on any public thoroughfare. So, I read your arguments as to why you believe the freedom of travel means you can drive your private vehicle on public roads, which are paid for by the registration of the vehicle, by the way, in part. That you believe you can drive because you have the constitutional right to travel. That it's never been interpreted that way. So the constitutional right to travel does not apply to overcome the requirements that states have imposed to require you to register your vehicle on an annual basis. That is it. I pay my registration fees every year because I have to, in order, if I want to put my car on the road. And I know if I put my car on the road with expired tabs, I'm going to get stopped and I'll have to pay the fine and I'll have to go get my car tabbed. I just know that's the way it works. And that's how the system is set up. So
The judge leans in, sharp and uncompromising. He dismantles the defense's sacred belief, the right to travel. Yes, freedom exists, but not here, not this way. Driving, he declares, is not some untouchable right. It's a regulated act, controlled by the state, chained by laws, bound by fees. Registration, insurance, compliance, these are the tolls demanded to ride the highways. Defy them, and the hammer comes down hard. The law speaks, and the courtroom listens.
there's no legal argument there. You made it in a sort of a big way, but I think it's a misinterpretation of what you believe the right to travel is. It does not give you the right to travel in any state, not adhering to that state's laws, and every state has a registration law like the state of Washington. So you've asked for my general.
Have you noticed that in courts, a car is referred to as a motor vehicle? A friend riding with you in the car is referred to as a passenger. You're engaged in traffic, and what the problem is, when a person registers his private property automobile with the state, he's declaring it a commercial vehicle.
No, that's your interpretation, and I'll just tell you that's not the interpretation shared by the courts. We don't see it that way at all. So the law makes very clear that all of us who have vehicles that we put on our roads, they have to be registered. It doesn't matter whether we have passengers, no passengers, if we drive them ourselves or not, if we're engaged solely in personal business or moving from point A to point B. None of that exempts us from the requirement to.
But the defendant pushes back with fire. He cries out that the system isn't about safety, it's about control. That licenses are just leashes, that suspensions are punishments wielded by bureaucrats, punishing not crime but disobedience. He exposes the ugly truth. Licenses used as weapons against families, against freedom, against anyone daring to step out of line. And in that moment, the courtroom transforms. It's not just about traffic laws anymore. It's about liberty being throttled under the state's iron grip.
When the case comes to me on a driving suspended charge, I look to see if your license is active or if you don't have the privilege to drive on the state. And you view it as a right. The law views it as a privilege, and the privilege is enacted if you are properly registered and insured.
Well, it's a privilege to operate a motor vehicle on the highways, but the courts have ruled, and it's in my brief, it's a right to travel by your automobile, by your private property automobile.
No, there's no court. Like I said, you can look all you want, but nobody has ever found a case that says a court upheld the ability of somebody to drive in whatever state on public roads.
Well, driving is a commercial term too.
Okay. To operate a motor vehicle in any regard.
That's even more a commercial term. Look at
To
other
operate
laws.
your car. No, there's no case that says you can
Operate
operate your
means
car.
using a business machine
Okay.
on a
Yeah.
public utility.
No, that doesn't. Operate means I'm operating my computer. I'm operating
That's a colloquial,
my pencil.
that's a
Okay,
colloquial term.
well, then you're pushing your example into
You
sort
look
of
at Black's 5th edition, you'll see that operate means using a business machine for gain.
okay. I disagree with that, and I don't think you'll find any cases that say.
Okay,
So,
I appreciate your
okay.
input.
All right.
Thank you.
But we'll see you on the 5th of August.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
The judge, steady as steel, rejects the storm. No philosophy, no loopholes, no fiery words can erase the cold reality of law. To him, it's clear, driving is a privilege, not a right. Courts across the nation agree. No case, no precedent, no escape. The man can fight, argue, shout, but the system stands tall, unmoved, relentless. And as the gavel falls, the message is crystal. Freedom of travel may exist, but not behind the wheel without the state's permission. The war is far from over.